Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I'm Brave, and we're going to get into building Bravoslav. So last episode, we left off with first a crash. That was probably the highlight of that video last time. And then we were starting to work on this train network. What I have started to uncover with this network is it's probably not going to work. There's just too many tracks that are joining too quickly, which is causing, if a train needs to come through here, this is not probably going to be enough distance for the selected train to sit into. We do have ground distance of 171 meters. So overall, we're going to have enough space. But it definitely is just a little bit too tight. So what I wanted to do is I think I'm going to delete all of these tracks that we have. And I will put back down some tracks. So what I'm thinking is here's going to need to be kind of a storage location for trains to sit and idle and wait potentially for more space to be made at the customs house. So I do want to set up probably a minimum of 200. So if I do 202, this will allow me to have a location for them to queue up. And what we could do is we could have a few queued here. And then once we get rid of this, when this is up and operational, we can add this back. But I think I might just run one line out to here, which will allow me to still get everything I need. So if I did, because this is going to be our choke point. So if I added, say if we did one more line, I might need to make this longer just so we can fit in all of them that we want, because this should probably be there. And I think I need to add another 25 to get to 200. If I did that and then that, okay, that gives me enough. This should be 200. Yeah, okay, it's 200 on the dot, and then I get rid of this waypoint. And I'm thinking I should do 3 to begin with is probably fine because it's 3 in, 3 out. I could probably get away with just having 2, but I will try to see if I can do 3. Maybe if we get rid of this waypoint. Oh, can't get rid of any of the waypoints. So let's see. Let's bring this one back and let's bring it up. Can I do? No. Also, sorry if I sound a little bit sick. Not sick, needless to say. Just a bit tired while trying to get this video out for Thursday. So it would be really nice if this would actually work out better, where this could connect properly, but it doesn't seem to want to work. But maybe I guess I could do that. But that just looks really funky and wonky. So, maybe if I delete this, I'm going to delete all of that. You know, I'm just going to delete this. So, we need a minimum of 200 coming out. So if we did say just 205 is a good number. Get it so they all run out like this. And then if we put, because we're going to need to have it somehow running in here. And this is going to be the storage location for the train. For all kind of like a train temporary storage area. So if we did 200, 200, and 200. What we could do, these could all just be 1-to-1, but I think we want to have it so trains need to come into one and then they just go out the same one. I think that would make it probably the easiest. So if we did something like that, then could we just get all these trains to potentially run in to the same. And then we do that. And then we do something like that. So then this would be the section where they would get clogged into. And this gives us enough kind of resting point for trains. And then what we could do is we need to bring in this train over this way somehow. And we also want to set this into a two-way, which you can do over here once we get this moved out of the way. I'm going to leave it running. Sorry, I had it on pause. I'm going to leave it running from kind of probably here on out, just so that things actually run. And then what we could do, because if this is a way in and then they go kind of pick whichever one they want out, for temporarily, we could have a track running into here. And this one could be a two-way, because we're only going to just have to build the construction office rail track over into this location. We don't necessarily need to keep it forever, because it can be decommissioned down the road. So maybe if we brought this track, say, into here, then that would allow that. And then if we want, we could hook it up also in this direction just to allow the train, if it needs, it can flop directions. Where it could come down this way and then come up and in, and then can go in here and then it can change direction. So it just gives it some more utility. And then we can get rid of this construction office down the road, because if it's coming up and in, it shouldn't be blocking this road too much, as the signal should be allowed for everything to pass through. Or maybe for simplicity, if we had this one coming off, I think for simplicity we should actually do this way. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of all of our extra nodes that we can, just so that we can build everything. If we did, because it's going to be a train builder, it doesn't have to be super long. We could do probably, like, let's just say 102. And then we could hook this up to there. And then we'll do the same thing here. And then this is kind of like a bypass. So shorter trains can go on this one, but I think that's fine. And then with this being the bypass, we would want it to hook off to there. So then this would be kind of the bypass one, where the train can come, bypass everything, and then it can move its way onto here, which I think we can have reverse engines as well. So we don't have to worry about wrapping it back around. If not, I think it can probably, I mean, we'll figure it out in the meantime later if we need to figure that out. I just want something a little more simplistic going into our rail construction office here. And I think this kind of tackles our problem. This is more simplistic and we don't have a lot of choke points. And then once this is opened up, we can have a way where we have two passing and then one that just heads off here and then they can just kind of bounce back, because it's going to be going from custom house to here back. And if we need, we can wrap this one kind of back and around. We can figure out something like that. So I'm just going to say yes to building that. Obviously we won't be able to build anything currently because we just don't have any vehicles or anything like that to actually put into storage here. Or to build any of these tracks. So it doesn't really matter what we have built, because it's just nothing's going to be built currently. But we can be optimistic. So it looks like an excavator's here. And then we have no excavators on any of these other sites, except for that we most definitely can have more excavators. We can have about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an open one, and I'm just going to fill it fully with excavators. So I'm just going to fill this one up with excavators, and hopefully we can have some more excavators working away and getting some of this stuff up and operational quickly. And hopefully that this gravel road will finish a lot quicker. So we're getting our construction office location up and running quickly, which is really what we need. This should have power, and I think we set up that with power last time. Yeah, we did. So all these have power, and the only thing they need was power. But we will need to work on getting, here's our power grid. We will need to work on getting it to actually be in this location. And I'm thinking that we might want to set up our transformers probably in this location here. And then we can bring our tracks around. And if we need, we can even do a smaller, which was mentioned. Big shout out to Spam Filter for the advice. We can do like a 6 or even just one of the free 4 ones and just put them here or somewhere around here and just have excavators sitting and telling them not to be auto assigned or anything like that. Because then we can actually just use them for excavating and anything like that we might run into a problem with. So yeah, we can use our excavators there. So we're going to put our transformers in this location. I'm not sure if it's going to get in the way of us later, but I think it's just probably the best place to put it. And then just kind of roll with the punches if we run into the punches, I guess you could say. So we're just going to do a high voltage switch, which will allow us to bring in the power. And then we're going to need to do a transformer. So the power can come in from this location, which will probably put a splitter in here and then just run it over this direction. Or we can even put it in here because it's not really going to be used with the track kind of pretty close off of it. So let's do power is going to go here. We won't suspend it. We will continue the construction, or is that suspended? Continue. And then we'll grab these and we'll assign them because I think we have some vehicles sitting. Yeah, currently we have, actually we have nobody sitting. So this one will sit until we get more of our vehicles back and operational. But we want this to be there, and then we want our electrical medium voltage. I think probably doing something like this, just so we have more, or sorry, our power transformer. We'll do this one. This one gives us quite a lot of potential power. So we'll do something along the lines of that, and then we'll run a 5 megawatt ground power. And I don't know if, okay, these are too close. Let's back them up because apparently they are too close and we can't delete or we can't build it. So we need to delete it. Grab our power transformer. We'll do something a little further away. So let's say that. And then how goofy does I mean, that doesn't look horrible, and that does give us a little bit more. So we'll do something like that. That gives us 8 in. And then this gives us enough power to be ran. We could even do some underground lines, above ground lines. I think for this one, I'm just going to do a medium line. And I'll grab the furthest away and I'll hook that one up. And then I'm going to tell my yard 2 to begin working on all this stuff when they have availability. So this should have my 2 excavators or my 4 excavators coming. We might benefit from having more dumpers and concrete mixers. And I think this was the one that we had set. Yeah, and so it would be this one. So let's look at dumpers, total capacity. So let's get 1, 2, and then concrete mixers, total capacity 1, 2. Let's get some more ground movement material, just so we can bring some stuff in a little bit quicker, and have these guys working away. Now, another thing that was mentioned in the comments from last episode, because I made mention that these vehicles are grabbing from the custom house, fully loaded. They're driving back over here to dump instead of just grabbing from custom house, dumping, grabbing, dumping, grabbing, dumping, because they can warp over here and then warp back. It's actually apparently dependent on the way that you set your custom house. So having, or sorry, not the custom house, the how you draw the road. So having the road, I think I drew it this way. The ending point is where the trucks want to dump. So if I need to draw it this way next time, which I'm going to try it out on this road once this one's done to see if that's the case. If I draw it this way, if they'll start dumping from there. So I'm kind of interested to see if maybe that is the case. If that is the case, that is pretty interesting. to say the least. But no, it should be good. We'll definitely take a look to see if maybe that is the cause and the reason why. But we got a lot more of these excavators. I just love how big they are. Because definitely back in the 30s, this is how big the excavators were. They had them like massively fueled machinery that were just like pretty much tanks on wheels, with a massive bucket on the front. So I think it's super cool, super, realistic to what it was back in the day. So I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, so getting a couple of this stuff up and operational. Hopefully we can get more workers delivered a little bit quicker. I do know we have the 2 buses. I don't know where they are currently, but I do know we had 2 buses circulating around somewhere doing something. But I'm honestly, is this a bus? No, that's a concrete. I'm not sure where our buses currently are. Because these aren't buses. That's not a bus. Huh. Are our buses just gone? Okay, let's go check, because apparently I can't find our buses. And this is a bus. Where are you? There you are. Oh, there's both of our buses. Why are you taking the long way around? That doesn't make sense. When you have the roundabout, I don't know. Maybe they were set for the long way to begin with, like originally, and they were just kind of continuing their path from previously. I'm not too sure, but they took the long way in. I think that's fine, I guess. Okay. So we do have $481,000. We did mention that agricultural is probably going to be our primary source of income to begin with, and I think that's a pretty cool way to start the series. So that might be something that we want to look to get, but I need to get about a city of 800 up and operational, and then we can kind of branch out into do agriculture. But first I need to get kind of my citizens even around. So what we should maybe do first, because we were working on the power, let's just finalize the power grid that we were going to put up. And I think I want to run a larger power grid, and I don't think there's going to be more added on to kind of this location. If I do add on more, it's going to be back in here, because I want 3 to queue for 3 in. Well, actually, technically this is only 2 queued in, because I'm going to need to have an open track, right? If it can't be a perfect 3 and 3 split, right? If I can't have 1, 2, 3 trains waiting, because then these 3 trains will have no way to go in or out. So it would technically be a 2 waiting, 1 in. So this would have to be a full way through. And then if I get rid of all of this, I can actually expand to 1 track, 2 track, 3 track, 4 track, 5 track. So I can have a lot more trains waiting to go in. So planning for the future wise, I think this is going to be kind of our rail yard, which then just leaves this space a little bit open for no reason, unless I put another track in here. But I think it's going to be a lot better idea to get some power in here, and I think setting it right there is probably the best idea. And then let's pull, I think I want to pull from here. Let's pull some overhead lines, and I'm going to try to run it alongside this road here, just so it makes, I want it to make sense and not just be pulling like randomly across the it just doesn't, that just doesn't make sense. Want it to make sense. So that makes sense, right? So that can start getting built. And then we need to hook up our power grid here, but I want to get probably just a smaller high voltage switch, so that I can run it this way and I can run it that way. And then I just need to switch off of those switches. So I'm going to do a power switch here, and I'll run an 8-volt through here. Or actually I might run it actually here to there. Yeah, I'll run it something like that. That will give me my most voltage physically possible. Let's set up. Let's not try to get the road in there because it's not road construction. let's set up these to do that. Okay, so then that's all queued up for construction as well. This is queued up for construction. Hopefully this one finishes quickly. I do have more excavators on the way, which should help increase the capacity at which they can build. And then we just need to eventually get hooked up over here. So I think this small switch, will allow me to pull in, and then this will give me another one that I can set up here, which then I can pull across here. Because I don't think I want to set up a switch here. I'd rather just probably pull off this one to another switch and then just switch it out that way. Because I don't think I need priority switches, where this one is just all this. I don't know how electricity fully works in this game yet. But I'm sure we'll eventually, probably, most likely, figure it all out. So I want to see if I can run. I just want to make sure I'm running these like out of the way. So if I run it like that, I think this is out of the way. Yeah, okay, that would be out of the way. It's not out of the way in the terms of the road, but I think the roads are pretty much going to be kind of set in stone. Gravel, stone, get it? No. So they're going to be kind of set, running out and everything like that. Hopefully we can get this one up and operational quicker, so I can tell this one to no longer be a road construction team, which another thing that was mentioned by Spam Filter. Got to give a huge shout out to him or her. Always around on the videos, giving me feedback, giving me comments, which I love. I would love to see everybody in the Discord server. So if you're not in the Discord server right now, feel free to join up. We do some exclusive stuff in there. I ask different questions, get some feedback from everybody. So link will be in the description below. But yeah, so one of the things was to change from const, which is not like is a variable, I guess. I want it to be construction. So the recommendation was to say switch it to CO, and then these to be DOs. So construction office, distribution office, which makes sense. It makes sense to me. So I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. It makes sense. So let's do it, and let's put that in there. So now one thing that we should look to do, not buy prison bus, right on. Let's look to buy a probably not a steel locomotive because I won't have anything set up. But we want to get, and I don't know if it's the same thing where it is, oh yeah, disassembled, and then this is the track builder. And I think it can get towed. So if I did one, I'll probably want to do two. I mean, they're fairly cheap too. I believe they can be loaded. Yeah, they can be loaded by what we have. So once this construction office is done, I will get some trucks to go pick it up and then bring it back in. I just need one of my construction offices to be done so I can buy brand new machinery for over here. And then this can be, I can take one of these out for, or two of them, just to make it faster for road vehicles. And then what I should do, because there is a lot, there's quite a bit of people waiting at the border. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just get as many buses as we can, because they can only store like a very small amount of people on the bus at a time. Like they can store 14 each, and that's really not a lot of workers, especially when playing the game back when it was just the regular DLC. I mean, you could get in just tons of people constantly. Like it was like you could load up a bus of 80. So you really do get handcuffed by the amount of people. And that's why I really wanted to get these offices up and running as quickly as possible. So I didn't feel like super handcuffed and that I couldn't get things out that I needed to get out. So that's why I wanted to get the construction offices quickly, because of the amount of lacking of, I guess, resources in the early 1930s, which we haven't even went through a winter season yet. So yeah, we should probably, while this is all getting built, because it's not going to get built like super fast, we should look to build or at least not build, but develop the plan for the city that is going to go up in here. Odds are the city is going to kind of expand out this direction, as we want to leave this all for industrial, the industrial complex we want to put up. So it's going to expand out this way, which is great. So let's kind of take a look. So I haven't taken a look yet for the different styled buildings we have. So obviously we still have the same like flats that we've had from all the other playthroughs, except for it looks like we don't get access to the very large flats. These ones, we don't get access to those, but we do get access to 145. It has capacity, quality of flats is 80%. And the rest of these also are, this is 85, 85, 85, 80, 80. So 85 is actually quite respectable. And then we have, it's pretty cool how we have option to kind of like some older styled housing now. Like that's like very much old school. And I'm really loving it. I'm digging it. All about it. Way to go. Props. And then we got this really, really long flat, which this is, so let's just say it's 150. It kind of is the same amount as, well, it's not the same amount as this one, I guess. But it is relatively comparable. And this one has a flat level of 80. And I think maybe what we want to do is early on get flat levels of 85. And what I also learned too from the comments and you guys helping me out and understanding the flow of the game is I was told that the only thing that people can't get to is kindergartens, which in my mind opens up a lot more availability that initially I never knew, because I thought students like high schoolers had to have the school nearby, but they don't. They can actually go to the bus stop and they don't need to actually be near bus stations, which is cool. So these are 50. I think I'm going to place, I don't really want to follow the grid, I don't think, but if I placed say 1, and then I could even put these together, can't I? Yeah, I can. So I could do 1 and then say 2, like so. I think those would look, I think that would look good. At least I'm hoping it'll look good. So we can do 2. So we can kind of do like a U shape like that. And then maybe if we did, that's the same building. We could maybe do something. I'm just trying to think like how would a Soviet era how would a 1930s town even look? I don't know. I'm thinking something like very narrow streets and stuff, with a lot of variation in buildings. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And I kind of want to stay with this 85 flat quality. I don't think I want to go any lower than that. Just so I can keep all my citizens that are coming in happy. And this is 50, 50, 100, 150. So I think maybe if we did, so that's a 100, 150. If we did, say, that would be 200. And then we could do 200, 250. And then, right, that would be 4. 1, 2, so that'd be 3. And I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I just can't figure out the design, what I want to do kind of for this city, or even just the small town. Maybe if we did that and then What if we did like a walkway back to back? So that would be 200, and then we could do flip this guy. Oh, let it save. Let it save. Hopefully we don't crash because it's saving for quite a long time. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, that took actually quite a long time. I was getting a little bit worried there because that took quite a long time actually to save. So I wasn't too sure if we were going to experience another crash. Anyways, I think actually we're going to place in maybe this very large building, and then we might be able to create like a mini plaza or something. So if I put that down there like this, which I know, I said only 80, but this would be 100, 150. So that would be 250. And then we can place in, say, another. What if we put in another one of these flats? No, I don't like that. Maybe we put in another one of these. Which would make, what would make sense? I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I feel like maybe doing that. No. Maybe maybe I just don't like this whole thing. Let's just redesign. When in doubt, if you can't figure it out, just blow it up and redesign it. That's what I always say. So yeah, maybe if we did something like this. And like this, so we're at, what's that, 150, so 300. And then if we did 85, how many people can hold this? 50. So that's 300. And then we could do 300, say, let's do it kind of like this, 300, 350, 400, 3, 4, 50, and then can we place in one more? Yeah, okay, something like that. I think this is fine. Actually, I'm not vibing with that one. Let's do something like a pod 1. 2. Yeah, let's do something like that. I think I can vibe with that. Let me know in the comments below. Can you guys vibe with this too? I don't know. I mean, I think it looks okay. So then I need for sure to get the school in here. So let's try to set this up like that. Let's run this one down like this. And let's do another one. I guess like that would be fine, like that. And then I think we can run one through here. Yes, okay. And then we should try to delete this back so that we can run. Okay, delete this one back a little more. I think we should run like a walkway here. Then we can wrap this one in. And then this can hook up to here. Do the same on this side. And then let's wrap that one and that one. And then let's hook up that and that. That to there, that to there. That, and that. I think that would be fine. And then potentially we could put the school here. Let's just hook up these. So that can go like there, that can go like there. So that's all hooked up. And then this one and that one. Okay, so that's all hooked up. This is kind of our housing. We should probably have like a bus stop here just so it gathers everybody. And then we can like double the distance. But let's take a pause from building the city because I'm really bad at those. We have our construction office built, and that's about it. Okay, so now that this is up, I want to purchase more vehicles, which I need. Let's do bulldozers. Let's do, I think if I do 2, and then I can do 4 trucks. Let's do 1, 2, and then open hauls, total capacity 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that would be good. And then let's assign this to there. Oh, what I should have done was should have got 1 bus in case there is a location that the machinery can't handle itself. So I'm going to get a bus as well when this stuff arrives. And that's fine that I bought an extra one because I still need to bring over all of my road depot stuff. So I'm just going to build my crane builders. I'm going to build the road depot. I'll just put the temporary one right here, which is fine. And then once they get over here, I can tell them that I need to pull over some stuff. So this is fine. So the one thing, while this is getting up and running, which actually we should rename this first before we jump off to something else. So let's name it the Pesach CO Road Office. Yeah. Okay. We'll name it something. Oh, I named it. The top of the building now says that. So let's name it the CO Road Office. Because I think that actually renamed the top of it. The Pasaco Road Office. We have a road office, people. We've done it. Got the road office up and running. So there's a milestone. First milestone. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause in the comments. We've done it. So, yeah, back to building this up over here. So, food and shopping, fine. We can put that up there later. So, kindergarten. So, this is a amount of children, 100. It's 150. I think the 50 would do me just wonderful. And we need it to just be able to reach all of these houses, which I think would look fine if it's over here. Which is kind of at the end of the road, which I'm thinking this is a wonderful location for it to go, and then it gives me a room to build some houses over there as well. So I'm gonna do there, and then do that, and then this will allow a walking distance for everybody, and that's what I need. And then I also need to add in some garbage collection. But that's something that we can look at in the potential near future, is to get our garbage hookups all sorted and situated. Because right now I think we're okay just to kind of build the basic bare bones of what we want to see. And then because now that this is kind of our residential, which we could actually add another front facing, which I might actually just do. Why not? Let's just add one more building if we can. We might need to get rid of these walking paths just temporarily, so we can add in one more large building. So let's add it here, and then we can add in a road like so, and then let's draw this one past, this guy past, and let's hook them up. Something along this line, and then in, and then hook this one up, that one up, that one up, and that one up. Okay, so now we have even more. I don't think I'm going to put any more, but I am going to just run this down the back side so that I can hook up I can kind of finish the pathway. So we'll do that, and then this kind of went in weird. So we'll redo it, and then we'll do something like that. Okay. So let's build all that. Okay, so that's going to get built in. We got our school here, and then I'm going to build in a bus stop right around here on the lower half of our So I need a bus platform. Probably only want enough for 600. I think that's going to be plenty. And we'll kind of put it right in here. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we can get it right in here. And then we could still add... We can still add the school and everything in as well. Which is great. But this should allow everyone to walk to it. Yep. So this in sense is just going to double... it's just going to double how much location that my citizens can walk to. Because this is like for, I think it's students, workers, tourists, and just passengers. Passengers are just trying to go get like groceries and entertainment and stuff like that. So this in sense just doubles what they can do, which allows me to kind of set up all my groceries and stuff and all that fun stuff kind of down this way. I think I want to actually delete that. And I'm going to wrap this up this way. Set it like that, and then it will run straight, and then this one's going to come up with it. Just kind of encircle everything, and then allows me to do more stuff. And then here I want to build a roundabout. Because I would like to be able to divert this, and right now I don't have any good way, any good infrastructure to divert it. I still find it very interesting that you can build it before the, before you unlock, kind of. I mean, that seems to me like some pretty modern architecture to do kind of overpasses like that. But hey, who knows? I'm not the infrastructure man off YouTube. I'm not that guy. I'm the man that well, by the time this episode launches, I completely failed a Captain of Industry Let's Play 5 seconds in. So that's cool. That's what we bring to the table. We fail stuff. We don't win stuff. But that's okay. It's all just for fun. I mean, I ramble on in my Let's Play commentary anyways. It doesn't matter. We're just here to have a good time and a grand time. Okay, so I got one of these guys here. So you're going to go over there, and then I'm going to grab myself a bus for this location, just so I have a little bit more flexibility. So it does look like I have quite a few buses just sitting, and I'm not sure why when there's a lot of stuff on the go. And all of those are selected. I do want to select this guy back. Because that I want to be the only one. So I want to cancel, no. Sign, can I right click? No. How do I unassign cancel construction mode? Oh, okay, just delete it. So temp, I delete that one. And now it's only this guy, and then that one's in this one, and he's going to be assigned to all the fun stuff. And then this guy's just going to go rip out some roads. Looks like this guy's about to finish the road. And then they will do some road stuff too. So with this being almost done, we can actually move everything over. And let's put down that road. So this road, let's just do a bypass, just so that they can kind of pick which one they want to go on, and then we'll kind of figure it out down the road, and then we'll just do like a right of way for I'm not sure. I think we'll have to figure that one out. And I think a school can actually just go right in here. I think this is prime real estate for a school if it fits. I think 150. Oh my goodness, it's gonna fit big time. Either that, or we could do our transformer splitter, and then we could bring it up here and then run it out that way. I actually think that might be a better idea. And I'm gonna do I don't know if I need this big 6 one, but it would let me run more power off to the industrial area, as well as kind of expand what I might need to expand. Now, does this put pollution I don't know. Good question. Are we going to find out? We're going to find out to see if, by our citizens, either they dying or not dying. That's how we're going to find out. We're not going to find out the proper way. We're going to find out the way if everyone dies due to health problems. So we're going to try to do... Can I angle this? And then maybe I can fit everything that I need to fit. I don't know if this one's going to fit the way I'm trying to get it to work. Unless I put it up this way and then I can run some underground lines. And I think I run underground lines to this transformer anyways. Just transfer. These things are like, I wish, and I know there's mods. Trust me, I know there's mods. I wish that these were just smaller. These just seem excruciatingly that's the correct word, big to me. They just seem way too large. Now these need to be reversed. Then they go underground. Okay, I need to reverse those because I want to... Most of my small electrical currents I run underground. Most of my large ones I run above ground. I don't know, just feels right. So I want that there, and then I need the power transformer. Now, actually, this might work even better anyways. Because I could run it like something like that. And then I can hook up this line there, which they won't really need to use it ever. So, I mean, I think it works out perfectly. And then we also could just run an 8 volt. And I think that just makes sense. And then we could just pull this one out here eventually, and I think that makes sense too. And then we can get power hooked up in here, and I think can I hook up the power to that one? Yes. And then this allows me to run this one to here. Man, that's a long ass, sorry. That is a long wire. Let's just do something like that. Okay, and then let's assign it to the construction office. If we're allowed to. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then we'll assign all of this. Yeah, we'll sign all that. And then eventually, no construction office have path to this construction. So yeah, this needs to be built. And then we can start building all of this. And I think what we'll do as well, we're gonna set up some connections to the roads, just so we have a little bit more, I guess, flexibility. So I'll hook those up, and then I think maybe I'll hook up this one too. Do something like that, and then should I hook up this one? No, I'll just hook up that because this is going to be kind of like random stuff. So we should be good. And then maybe the school. I mean, I guess the school could go in. No, because I need my path. The school could go over here. Realistically speaking, it could go there. I think that would be fine, or it could even go here. I think over here is actually fine. And we don't need a very large school. Like, we don't need 300. Like, I think 150 is going to be plenty early on. For students and stuff. So we could even do... I wonder if we could run a path up this way. So if we did something... I think I want to face it this way. Yeah, and then if we did something along the lines of pull... Oh, I don't want that there. If we pulled this way, and then in, we could hook that up there, that there, that there, and that one there. Okay, and then this should allow, yeah, even with not needing the bus platform, we can hook that up, and then we could also do our stores over on this side. So if they go to the bus stop, they can just walk across and go to the store and pick up anything that they need. And then in terms of distribution and stuff like that, it doesn't have to go all the way into the city to potentially get clogged up. It just can bring it through the backside here and drop off any of the food products like that it might need. So yeah, I think that's going to be plentiful and wonderful. Let's high prioritize that just so it gets up and operational a little bit quicker. This road is done. So now it is time to assign this road, and let's try out what I was told. So let's go that way with it. And then this needs to do that. Okay, so let's get that underway. There's quite a lot of machinery, and only one can be working on it at a time. And we do have two, so I might even do not that way. We want to test it that way. I want to see if we can do two at a time, since we have two bulldozers. Double the efficiency now that we have two. So perfectly awesome and wonderful. Yeah, so they're going to do what they need to do. And hopefully we can get some things up and operational a little bit faster. I mean, we do have machinery sitting here, and we have resources on site. We just need some asphalt and workers, and then we can actually start getting some stuff built. Isn't that the story? You know, always needing workers and resources. Oh boy, roll credits. Yeah, so it seems like that we're always needing something. In terms of workers, just always need them. Seems like you can never get away from it. So what I wanted to do, like stuff like this, and I was kind of like thinking about like we can like fence this in and make it look like even cooler. But what I was kind of thinking would be really neat, and I don't really see it being used a ton in anybody else's kind of Let's Play series or anything like that. And granted, I could just be missing it, but it doesn't seem like people really utilize this feature too much in their series. Kind of building something to make everything look very uniform to itself, where they utilize, you know, like now this, if I had this being gravel going in, it would look very much like all of it's just exposed. And if you do, say, asphalt, oh boy. Whoa. Yeah, remove. So say if I did asphalt instead, you know, that now looks like it actually is meant to be the whole thing, right? I just think that looks really cool and neat and nice, and adds an extra little bit of flair. So yeah, we'll kind of put that around everywhere every once in a while. I think it just adds to what I'm, you know, what I'm trying to build, something beautiful, until it completely collapses and capitulates on itself. Then that's okay too. Then we just restart again. So yeah, okay, so we have kind of the core part of the city being built. Looks like he's dropping off some asphalt. I think that's what he's doing. Are you dropping off asphalt here? Yes. Okay. So he's dropping off asphalt. We also still need to get our food. And I think, I mean, I haven't even looked at any of this stuff either. So this small shopping center, it has outlets for everything we would need, and we could do it right here. And this is also within walking distance. So we could do that, and then we could plunk on a warehouse, which I think, oh, these warehouses are huge. Hey, so this one has train access. 640, that's a lot. And then this one's also massive. I think 320 is probably what I'm looking to have. So I don't need a massive, I mean, it's only supplying that, but I could store some other stuff if need be. I just think the reason why it's such a large storage option is because it does take forever to get anything anywhere around here. Like, it takes just an astronomical amount of time. I really do wish that we have so many excavators, but none of them are actually going over to the high priority setup. They're just going to other locations. So let's resume this. Let's add this to our construction queue. Maybe let's high prioritize one, see if we can get any workers over there. Because this really doesn't need to be built right now. It's just, it's for later. but we can start building it, I guess. That's fine. So then also it's going to need meat storage. This is 750 tons. I mean, this is just the same thing. So I think I'm going to set it up right there. And then we can just do a dirt road there and then connect that there. And then I think that's fine. We can set up a garbage dump off out back here. And before I forget, I'm just going to do that right now because it does accumulate quite a lot of garbage. But it needs to still be in walking distance. So that's in walking distance. We could set up a large bin. But that's for that. This is for actually putting it away. Stand for small garbage container. Stand for small garbage container large. Am I missing something? What's the difference? Oh, that one's walking. This one's driving. Go away. Yeah, geez. Okay, okay, if I did something like that, would this allow me to then put the garbage out back? Yes. Okay, so I want to have the garbage out back, and I could even set it up like that. And then that would allow them to dump garbage. So if I did that, that would allow them to dump garbage. And I could, if I need, I could do 2 of them. I could do 1, 2. I think 1 is fine. So I'm going to set it up so it's facing the dump, or not the dump, the store. And then I'll also set up this one. I might do 2 on. 1, and then I'll also do 2. That's like just out of range. So if I angle it just slightly, it's in range. And I think that's fine. I'm gonna do 2 just because I want to make sure between these 2 that they don't get too filled up. And then I need some garbages within the city as well. So we can do 1 there. Let's do 2. I think 2 is good. If I can fit 2. I know I can fit a small one for sure. So we could do 1. Can I fit a large one in here? Yep. 2, and then that would do all that. That would do all that. And then let's just put another small one up in here. I could do it here. I could also do then a large one. You thought. But I could do one there. Can't do one on the outside. Can I do one here? No. So I would like to have another one somewhere in here. Just doesn't look like I'm going to get one. But I could do here, and then I still probably wouldn't be in the way of anything. Or I could just do it here. Yeah, I'll just do it there. That's definitely not in the way. So yeah, I can sit up there, and then nothing's going to be in the way of anything. And then I have kind of garbage set up, but I don't have heating, I don't have water. I got partial electricity set up, and they're building the bus stop. I really don't need you to. So low priority, please. I'd rather you get like one of these built and, you know, the construction office built. So, you know, it makes sense. Make it make sense, please. Okay, so there's just a bulldozer sitting. It doesn't look like there's any... Well, this has groundwork and he's not over there. So bulldozer must all be vehicle, like gravel related. I don't know. Why are you not... Like, where are you? What are you guys doing? There's a bus there. There's this there. Are you just... Like, are you not assigned? You. No, you're... You're definitely assigned. Construction has stopped. Missing resources, gravel. Gravel. Where are you getting your gravel from? Customs house. Missing dumper truck. Oh my goodness. Oh. No way did I buy that many of the wrong vehicle. Oh no. Why did nobody tell me I was buying the wrong? Oh. Okay, well, we have a lot of vehicles. For, I don't know, whenever I guess we use them. Okay, dumper. Total capacity. One. Oh, please get out of here. 2. And 3. Wonderful. Okay, well, with that being said, now that we have a whole bunch of open halls that we have literally no use for currently because they're not assigned to the construction office. Granted, once the construction office is done and up and operational, yes, we're going to need it. We're going to need to put them in there anyways. But it just seems like a waste of money right now. And we don't have any dumpers. So we can't even start on what we wanted to start on. But anyways, that does it for the episode 2 of Workers and Resources Early Start DLC. We made a lot of progress. It looks like our train system is set up a little bit better. Let me know in the comments if this type of setup is going to work, where we have a queue of 2 waiting, and we do have a offset track just for a construction office to get in. And then this is they'll pick the outside vacant track, which will only be an out track to go out. And then these are all 200, so they have tons of room to sit and idle. And we do have plans in the future to even bring them back a little more, and then also make a bigger storage and sitting yard, because I'm assuming with a lot of our large industrial, we're going to want to be sending out ships and also sending back some stuff. And that's all going to have to go by train, or we're going to have to go out by train all the way out here. And just to, you know, this is an absolutely massive map. I mean, we have only grazed the surface with our new republic, but we're on a good track. I feel pretty confident about this this let's play. I feel pretty good that we're making the right strides forward and getting the proper things underway when we need to get them underway. We got our town getting underway as well, so we can get into agriculture, and then we can start selling crops right away, and hopefully that's going to offset a lot of our expenditures early on, and then as we get more and more into it, we can do clothing, steel, iron, coal, you name it, we'll do it. And then, you know, the goal, just to play it out. I don't have a goal of like 85% happiness to 75,000 citizens. It's just play it and hope we don't fail. That's the goal. So until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Brave. It's been a pleasure. I'll see everybody on the next one. Take care.